Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Hey, it's Olivia. Welcome back to Divorce Happens. Before we get into today's topic, I want to read you something a listener sent in, because I have a feeling a lot of you are going to hear yourselves in it, whether you want to or not. This is one of those patterns that I personally spent years excusing in my own life before I could even see it clearly. So, let's take a breath and start with the letter. Hey, Olivia. My ex used to make jokes about me in front of our friends. My weight, my job, the way I loaded the dishwasher, everything. Every time I brought it up, I got the same line. I'm kidding. Why are you so sensitive? I started believing I actually was too sensitive. Looking back now, almost 2 years post-divorce, I don't think I was sensitive at all. I think I was being told over and over that I didn't deserve respect. I still don't know how to talk about this without sounding like I'm exaggerating. Was that actually a big deal? That letter is one of the most common versions of a story I hear, and I want to start today by answering the question directly. Yes, it was a big deal. It still is a big deal. Contempt rarely shows up as a slammed door or a screaming match. It shows up as a laugh track, a comment about your body, your intelligence, your parenting, your job, delivered with a smirk, so that if you push back, the problem quietly becomes you. I'm just kidding. You're so sensitive. Can't you take a joke? Every one of those lines does the same job. It lets the cruelty land while making you responsible for the discomfort of naming it. This matters because contempt isn't just an unpleasant communication style. Relationship researchers who study what actually predicts couples breaking up have found that contempt, eye-rolling, mockery, condensation, is one of the strongest predictors there is. Not the fact that a couple argues, not even how often. Contempt specifically, because contempt communicates something conflict alone doesn't. I don't see you as my equal, and I don't respect you as a person. I want to be really clear about something, because I don't want anyone listening to this and panic about a partner who's sarcastic sometimes or who has a dry sense of humor that occasionally lands wrong. That happens between two respectful people. What we're talking about today is a pattern. Humor that is consistently aimed at you, that consistently diminishes you, and that is consistently followed by some version of you're overreacting when you respond to it. The tell isn't the joke. The tell is what happens the moment you say you're hurt. There's a distinction there. Here's what makes this particular pattern so damn insidious. It rarely feels like a big enough moment to leave a marriage over. No single joke is a crisis. So you absorb it. You tell yourself you're being too sensitive and you move on. And then it happens again next week and the week after and the week after until you've built an entire internal narrative where you are the problem for noticing. That narrative doesn't just erode a marriage. It erodes your own trust in your perception. People who have lived inside this pattern for years often tell me that the hardest part of divorcing wasn't the paperwork or logistics. It was relearning that their instincts were accurate all along. If you're recognizing this pattern in a marriage you're still in or one you've already left, I want to offer you something other than a call to arms. You don't have to build a legal case or win an argument about whether it counts. You just have to be honest about what it felt like over and over to be laughed at by the person who was supposed to be your safest place. That's about understanding your own experience clearly enough to stop mistaking familiarity for normalcy. And if you're on the other side of this now, rebuilding, here's the good news. The absence of contempt in your life is something you'll feel in your body before you can even articulate it. Conversations that don't have a punchline aimed at you, silence that doesn't actually feel like a held breath, that's not nothing. That's what respect actually feels like, and you're allowed to expect it. If you're dating again, here's a small thing to pay attention to. How a person talks about people who aren't in the room. Do they need an audience for their humor, or can they be funny without a target? You learn a lot about how someone will eventually talk to you by watching how they talk about everyone else first. And to the person who sent the letter I read at the top, you don't owe anyone an explanation for why a joke hurt. Why are you so sensitive was never actually a question. It was a redirect. You're allowed to simply know what you know. Before I let you go, if you're in the thick of rebuilding right now, Fresh Starts was built for this exact reason. You can find more at freshstartsregistry.com whenever you're ready. You are so much further along than you think, and I'll see you next time. Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.